All right, guys, welcome to the White Whale Weekly, where we go over everything living in New Smyrna Beach and Daytona Beach area, real estate, and having fun. My name is Tim Loomis. This is my business partner, Chris Shores. And before we go forward, don't forget, we put out a video every single Wednesday, so like, subscribe, alert, and follow.
All right, perfect. So today we want to talk to you about if you're a buyer in this really tough market. We've got some buyers that we're working with right now that have unfortunately got beat out on some deals. And we talk with a lot of people that are really wanting to move, but they just don't know how to because they don't want to lose a deal. So we've got 5 tips for you today on how to ensure that you get your perfect home and don't get beat out on everybody else. So I'll start out with number 1, then we'll kind of go from there. So number 1 is know the area that you want your home to be in. So some things to consider about this is going to be school zones. If you still have children, are you still working? Do you need to be around airports or highways? Are you upsizing, downsizing? Do you want to be an HOA or not an HOA? So these are all really important factors to consider when purchasing your new home, just making sure that you have the area that you want to be in, because you can't chase 2 rabbits at once. And you could potentially lose out on one home because you're trying to get another home in the area you weren't sure if you wanted to be in or not.
Exactly. And before we do number 2, if you know where we're standing right now, drop a comment below. If you're a local, I think you'll be able to point out where we're at in New Smyrna. But let us know if you know where we're at. Number 2, make sure you have your financing in order. So if you're paying cash, have a pre-approval letter from your bank, just showing that you have the amount of funds available to purchase the house. Now, this doesn't have to show any more than what you actually have. We don't want to give away, that you have millions and millions of dollars or anything like that. We just want to make sure that we show that amount of money. Or if you're doing financing, have your loan pre-approval in order. Make sure that you have these things because you don't want to get beat out on an offer because someone else did have their affairs in order.
Exactly. Yeah. So really important to make sure that you're all ready to go with all that. So number 3 is kind of like number 1, but it's a little bit more specific than that, is to make sure you know what kind of home you want. So do you want a single level home? Do you want a town home? How many bedrooms do you want? How many bathrooms? Do you want a pool? No pool? Lots of little things to consider. And the reason you want to do this is because the more focused you are, you're going to be able to know exactly what kind of home it is that you're looking for and be able to go right in and get that home and not be wishy-washy on should you get the home with a pool or without the pool. And it's just going to allow you to be able to go out there and make that buying decision and get what you want and take a lot of that stress out of that process.
Exactly. And before we go into number 4, are you waiting to go by us? Come on through. Please don't wait. Yeah, we are so sorry. No, you're not disturbing us at all. Here's one of my cards. If I can ever help you in any way, let us know. All right, so number 4, contingencies. You want to make sure that when you're working with your realtor, White Whale Real Estate, that your offer has as few contingencies as possible.
But what's a contingency?
Do you know what a contingency is?
You think I should, but for those people that aren't in the real estate world like we are every day, could you explain what a contingency is?
So contingencies are specific wording in the contract that allows a buyer to back out if any of those specific events were to happen. Some of your main contingencies are going to be financing contingency, inspection contingency, appraisal contingency. Those are some of the main ones that we see. And you just want to make sure that when you're writing an offer that you try to eliminate those or limit those as much as possible so that your offer doesn't get beat out by someone that doesn't have any of those contingencies.
So in other words, pretty much the less contingencies there are, the stronger your offer is.
Yeah, 100%.
And then the more likely the seller wants to accept.
Yeah.
So cash is still king. The
Cash
fewer
is king.
contingencies you have, the better. Just makes it look stronger all the way around. Yep. And number 5 is to make sure that you have a professional local area representation like White Whale Real Estate to help you buy your next home. It doesn't cost you anything. It should not cost you anything for a buyer's agent to represent you. So do make sure on that. There are some buyer's agents that will charge you a transaction fee or other fees. We don't ever do that at White Whale Real Estate, and you shouldn't be charged to do business with people anyway. We don't think that's the fair thing to do.
Yeah.
And then also too, it's really important. You should never represent yourself. You should always have a third party being able to represent you, just to make sure that they have an objective eye and keep a third person perspective on the situation. When buying a home, it can become a very emotional process, and people tend to kind of step outside the bounds and maybe spend more money when they shouldn't. And we're here to help make sure that you get the best deal possible and get you ultimately in the home that you want to be.
Yeah, we'll consult with you well beforehand as your buyer's agents. And make sure that we know what your goals are and where you're trying to stay, and just try to make the process as easy as we humanly possibly can for you. So,
definitely. So we hope you enjoyed these 5 tips. We're here to help you get the best deal possible, make the home buying process as easy as possible, and also get you into the home of your dreams. So please let us know what we can do to help you. As Tim mentioned earlier, we have a new video every Wednesday, so please like, subscribe, and follow, and let us know what we can do to help you.
have a great week.